subscribe, support, stay positive.
Well, hello, folks. Hello, folks, and welcome back. Welcome to a awesome show here. I'm with Devious Dave Rose. How are you doing there today, Devious Dave Rose?
I'm doing awesome, Tommy C. Thank you so much for having me here on Tommy Talks.
You mean, I don't think this is a Tommy Talks. I think we're just predicting what WrestleMania is going to happen, you know?
My apologies, good sir. That's right. This is the WrestleMania 31 Live prediction show exclusively here on Tommy NC's YouTube channel.
Yes, and I tell you what, as I said on Devious Dave Rose Dark Show last night, I said that this WrestleMania is, I kind of put it like this. I basically said it would be the bastard child of WWE. That was my predictions of WrestleMania. Wouldn't you agree with me, Dave?
I wouldn't put it in those words. I've liked to encompass it by saying I call it WrestleMania placeholder. I see it as a bridge that's just going to allow for storyline to continue, but is nothing very important or pertinent for this year. It's unfortunately something that will probably be forgotten much more quickly than other WrestleManias.
So let's dig into this ensemble as a placeholder for WWE. What is our first match for the night?
The first match of the night at WrestleMania 31 will be Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, who are the current tag team champions, versus The New Day, which is Big E and Kofi Kingston, and they've got Xavier Woods on the side. Then you have versus Los Matadores, Diego and Fernando, and they have El Torito on their side. And finally versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, with Naomi in their corner.
You
now, what do you think about that, Tommy NC? Do you think that all these different individuals in the corners of their respective tag teams might end up causing some mayhem in the outside of the ring?
That's the main thing when you have so many people out in the ring and the wrestling area, is there's a lot of times for opening for somebody to get involved, for somebody to basically mess with the match, and it's either gonna, because I guarantee it, every single time the main person's in the match fighting with the other person, it's always this and that, and it's always hectic, you know?
Oh, absolutely it is, and that is actually sometimes one of the greatest draws when you watch one of these events, because it's not necessarily what's going on inside the ring, but also what's going on outside the ring.
Yeah, for instance, I have a setup here. What really should be happening at WrestleMania 31, but WWE thinks that's what is not best for business, and they rather be giving us Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. And people have been talking about this new promo with The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. I guess it's an ensemble of different things that Undertaker has said in the past, and Bray Wyatt saying, mixed together. Is that what it is, basically?
I'm not sure if I've seen that particular promo, but if that's the case, I think it's just a cheap cop-out when they could definitely get a more consistent sound clip that's more recent than having to splice together all these different audio segments to try to get a promo across.
I have one of my biggest predictions for this year's WrestleMania 31 is I believe that either Bray Wyatt is going to win or Undertaker is going to win, and in the midst of that, Lesnar is going to find some way to run out and do something to the match. What do you think about that?
I can't agree with that. First off, obviously, we've got Bray Wyatt and we've got Undertaker, and obviously one of them's going to win. You know, if one of them doesn't win, it's the other. I don't see this as a double disqualification, which now to think of it, it just popped in my head. That actually might be good. That might be good to keep the legitimacy of both of these wrestlers. But back onto what you're talking about, okay, one of them's clearly going to win, but I do not see Brock Lesnar actually coming out to do any sort of interference because he, again, is going to be in the main event. He's going against Reigns. He's been portrayed as a character that is fully focused on the one opponent that he's facing at that point, and that's it. In fact, he's, you know, the prima donna almost in the sense that he's there for the money, he's the mercenary, whatever they want to call it, but he does his thing as quick as possible and then he leaves. He's not appearing throughout the entire show. He doesn't appear on Raws or SmackDowns consistently. It's only once in a while, and he's even publicly said it. He likes that part-time pace at the full-time pay. And hey, man, the guy got the good deal out of WWE. Good on him, man. I don't hate him for being astute business-wise and getting exactly what he needed out of it. But I do not see him risking his ability to win or to retain the WWE Heavyweight Championship title by coming out and interfering in that match.
Now, you know, the thing is that Taker, he's lost his streak, and with that, you know, he's appearing again, and he hasn't said a word. He didn't say goodbye to his fans at the next Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 30, and so, you know, with such a gap there, with him not saying anything to his fans, and now coming back out at WrestleMania 31, what do you think of that, man?
You know what? You raise an extremely great point, a point that I've tried to raise several times in my videos and in other people's videos. And I think this relates a little bit to that guy that you have there in that ring, the one sporting the red and black, absolutely, the Black Attack, NWO Wolfpack, is the fact that they... Oh my God! I'm so sorry, Tommy. I went on that crazy rant and I forgot your question.
Basically, Undertaker leaves, and we don't see him for this.
Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. And you know what? That will be the last time I ever try to do some lyrical speaking like that because you know you're all about business. You're dressed for it, so I've got to speak to this. So I think it's egregious. I think it's insulting as a fan. I love the fact that you brought this point up because, again, it's a big point for me too. How can you expect anything good to come out of this situation when he loses his streak, which is a big deal? He doesn't say anything to his fans, a big deal. He goes on this disappearance. He doesn't say a word. He's not publishing anything, you know, like we're not hearing a word from Undertaker, so it's like he's disappeared.
Yeah,
and that's again a bad thing. I mean, it feels like we've been abandoned, and then he comes back and he's being thrust upon us, and we're supposed to just accept it, even though Bray Wyatt has basically been carrying this whole feud because the Undertaker has not shown up one moment to even respond to what Bray Wyatt's accusations are. So it's a great point, Tommy, that you build that up because it's a point where actually I'm you know, obviously I'm getting passionate about. I'm getting a little bit upset because although Undertaker isn't one of my favorite wrestlers, I think he's an amazing wrestler, done such a great contribution, and Bray Wyatt's looking amazing, and he's also done a great job. So it bothers me that they decide, oh, at the last moment, here you go, rather than build up the story. Sting and Triple H had more build up than Undertaker and Bray Wyatt.
and honestly, like everybody keeps saying this, but it's going to be an epic match. Here's the deal.
It will.
What makes me mad is I've watched a documentary, the WCW and WWE documentary on Sting and Undertaker, them being loyal people to their own companies, and WrestleMania 31, them fighting against each other would be two different brands. one brand that is gone, one brand that's still here, and you know, honestly, it's an insult to me as a fan for Triple H or Vince McMahon to say, well, here's the deal. We know what's best for business, so we're going to give you a second-rate card wrestler that's working his way up the ranks and has a cult following right now, building a cult following, but instead of giving you the golden boy, Sting, the man of darkness coming after you with the baseball bat, we're going to give you this, crazy guy that thinks he's a cult leader when actually his name is Husky Harrison and he was part of the Nexus. So that's what we're going to give you. That's what's best for business.
Yeah. That's an interesting way of assessing that. I mean, I don't think that, just on a side note, I don't think that Bray Wyatt is the Husky Harris character. I think that he's now fallen upon more who his true character is, and a lot of wrestlers, again, the character that they excel at is the one that is probably the closest to their actual attitude in real life. So Bray Wyatt, I think, has succeeded because this is much closer to the character that he is himself. Again, every wrestler is just their own persona set up to volume level 11. So I just think that he's now much more comfortable, and the fact that he's been able to carry these sorts of promos with this feud with Undertaker, who's had no words, no build-up, nothing, I think reflects very highly. I was going to say it reflects very highly on Bray Wyatt as a performer. He can wrestle, he can do these promos, he can keep people interested, and he can build this all on his own.
Yeah, and I tell you what really irked my tie was at what was it, Fastlane. You saw it too. We were watching it all together. You were watching it on your house, on your network, and all of a sudden Taker's music comes on, and you're just like, oh! I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm like, oh! Like I'm freaking out. I'm like, yes, Taker's coming back, and I'm like, so he comes out. They open the casket, and on hops out Bray Wyatt.
That's right. I called that. That's right. We were watching it live. We were even commenting on that. And even then and there, I'm like, no, man, that's not Taker. That's Bray Wyatt. And eventually, they pull the casket up to the ring. They open it up, and boom, who it is? Bray Wyatt.
That absolutely irked me, and I was like. And you could hear the fans just saying, F you! F you! Oh, if I was a fan and that was my first ever pay-per-view live and WWE did that to me, I would be ticked off. I'm sorry. I've always wanted to. I've never seen Taker in person. I've always watched him on TV, but I've never been to a live show. Like a live recorded show. Like I went to a SmackDown episode one time, pre-recorded nice. SmackDown episode, but Taker wasn't even there, and I was all the way in the back row where you could hardly see anything. You had to watch it on Jumbotron.
So the next match of WWE 31, or sorry, WrestleMania 31 by WWE is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
I think about this match, and I think about the man it represents. I think about Andre the Giant, bigger than life, a man that can guzzle down a whole keg of beer and not get drunk, and a man that was persona of WWE and the legacy of who Andre the Giant is. And then you show me the listing for people that are going to be in this match. I'm thinking, okay, shouldn't this be for bigger men, like bigger guys and guys that are giants? Because Andre the Giant was a giant. He was a humongous guy, and that his legacy still grows on today, even though he's no longer with us. Been for a long time. What do you think, Dave?
My idea is that they've named this specifically because of the fact that Andre the Giant was known for being able to just basically pick anybody up and throw them out of the ring. So applying that to a battle royale basically means that you're sort of like emulating the person that the award is named after by, again, eliminating your opponents by throwing them over the top rope. So I think it's perfect in the way that it's been defined, because it's an additional thing of prestige to look forward to during WrestleMania. It's different. It allows for a lot of showcasing of talent and introduction, like for this year with Hideo Itami. And I think it's perfect because, again, that's what encompassed Andre the Giant, was this strength and ability to throw somebody over the rope without any issue, with total ease. So I like what they did with this.
Now, who's going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale? Who's going to be in that?
Let me look up the exact details, because I'm looking on a lot of different websites to encompass all this information, because there is quite a lot of information here. So it will take me a moment here to just get this information to you. See, the funny thing is, a lot of the links I'm looking for is just like, oh yeah, the next match is Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. It's like, okay, that's great, but give me the goddamn details. I want to actually know what's there. Just don't tell me the events going on. Let's see here, Andre the Giant. So, hold on, why does this have to be so difficult, Google?
While he's doing that, I guess, one thing is that WrestleMania is
I've got it.
All right.
I've got it. Sorry to interrupt, but okay. So this, according to the list that I'm seeing here, says it's partial, but it's Hideo Itami, Curtis Axel, The Miz, Damien Mizdow, Goldust, Jack Swagger, Zack Ryder, Adam Rose. I think I said Curtis Axel, right?
Yeah.
Curtis Axel. Unfortunately, this list is incomplete, but there's going to be a lot of people in that match, and when I can finally find the list, I'll let you know. But go ahead and tell us more about what you were thinking.
WrestleMania is one of the biggest pay-per-views out of WWE, out of the thousands of pay-per-views that WWE produces. And since they've kind of gutted the name pay-per-view with the WWE Network now, technically we're just going onto our computers, paying $10 a month, and watching just an event on their network. So technically the name pay-per-view is being gutted, and then we're no longer seeing pay-per-view anymore. It's just event. And people, use the word pay-per-view, but pay-per-view is probably used when it's aired on television. You're paying like $50 just to watch WrestleMania. And, personally, I think WrestleMania is personally, I can't wait to see what's going to happen at WrestleMania. I'm not a football fan. I don't even really care about the Super Bowl. The only thing I really care about, the biggest event, is WrestleMania, because it's got this big feeling about it that you could just stand up and go, yes! Yes, I'm a Daniel Bryan fan. And it ticks me off that Daniel Bryan is not the main event this year, and that, Daniel Bryan is just like, okay, Roman Reigns, you take it because you deserve it this year. That's what I felt like what Daniel did. Daniel may be pissed, but he did it to himself personally. He gave, I feel like he wasn't himself when he was going up against Roman Reigns. I declare.
WrestleMania, the showcase of the immortals. Yeah. I'm Vince McMahon, and I'm here exclusively on the WWE WrestleMania 31 live prediction show. And Tommy and C spent a lot of money just for me to make this plug for him. So be sure to watch his videos and give those thumbs up. Now I've got to go back to Connecticut before I fly out to San Francisco and make sure I screw over some very good wrestlers. Good night, Tommy and C.
And you're fired!
Wow, you get all the special guests here on your show, man. You had Vince McMahon himself. That's crazy.
Yes. Oops, they're going at it.
Oh, man, they can't hold back until WrestleMania 32. These guys want a piece of each other. It's too bad
Taker's holding up by a thread. Oh, Taker's getting back up. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting event. I can't believe my eyes. Oh, no, Taker's got Sting by the throat. Oh, no, nope. He's got him in the Scorpion Death Drop. Oh, he just slammed into the mat.
There we go. That's the result I want to see. Scorpion Death Drop on The Undertaker.
Oh, jeez.
But I love The Undertaker. I remember when he first premiered and stuff. It was ultimate, and it was definitely one of these things where it was just like it was a character that you was sort of like really kind of freaked out about. So I mean, again, for me being 7, 8, 9 years old when he came out. It was quite impressive. But let's get back to the card here, because the next match, according to what I'm seeing here, actually, to be quite honest, I don't even think that this is in the right order, because it's all over the place. But I'm going off Wikipedia, so people please forgive me for this. But according to Wikipedia, the next match on this one is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Now that's probably the final match, isn't it? Sorry?
Just a second. I need to do something real quickly. If you
Sure. Not a problem.
Just a second. For a pro second, I do something. Return a call. I apologize. I know this is a professional show, but it could be something urgent. But
it's what's best for business, Tommy.
So
while you go away, I'll be sure to talk about this, and I'll keep your show looking lively. Ooh, yeah.
Thank you.
That's right, the Macho Man is here exclusively on the Tommy and C Show, the live predictions. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be great this weekend. Don't forget to tune in to WrestleMania 31. Yeah, dig it. Wow. So we've got Vince McMahon, we've had Macho Man, Randy Savage appear here exclusively on the show. This is absolutely incredible. But there will be many more matches that we're going to be talking about. And as I just mentioned, I am following Wikipedia right now, which is clearly incorrect, because it is listing that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is the third match into the night, and that doesn't seem to be correct. I believe that will be the last match of the night, so I do apologize for my lack of research, if you wish to call it that. This was a last-minute episode that was put together by Tommy NC, and he asked me to be on his show, which I so kindly obliged. But again, I do apologize for not having this information set up properly, at least in the order that I believe it's going to be going in, because I do see some of the other matches here that are listed in the order that they're providing, and I would never book it that way. So clearly I must be seeing things wrong, because this is not the way that anybody, even with half a brain, would book this sort of stuff. So that being said, we will wait, obviously, for Tommy NC, who is currently conducting business, because it's all good. It's all what's good for business. It's what's best for business. Doesn't matter if I mess up my own lines. It's all good. And here we go. That's right. We've got the one. We've got the only Tommy NC, Mr. Business, back here on the WWE WrestleMania 31 live prediction show.
Yeah, I apologize about that. That's somebody trying to invite me over for a WrestleMania party, since I'm going to be here kind of like with some friends maybe. I don't know if they're coming or not. But, this person was inviting me to come to watch it with them. But the thing is, even if I stay there, I don't have a place to stay because my friend is out of town right now, so I'm basically stuck with nowhere to stay.
I can see your conundrum, but nonetheless, I do wish you the most enjoyable WrestleMania experience with your party tomorrow. And I always have loved that. I mean, I'm not a big gridiron football person, not at all, unless you're talking CFL. That's a different issue. But the fact is, big sporting events like the Super Bowl. My Super Bowl is the WrestleMania. At
Yeah.
least, for this year, because I'm going to be quitting the product for a while to take a break. But that being said, WrestleMania is a big event. It's always been enjoyable for me in my past with my friends, and having these parties where you can just order pizza and wings and just have a blast and just watch these great events has just been really enjoyable.
Yeah, I would say that, as you said, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl. Like, it comes once a year, and everybody prepares for it, and everybody's on the edge of their seat to see what's going to happen, what is going, and you're okay. This question's been going around. Yeah. Okay. Everybody has been saying this, and it's been on the WWE Network that Dolph Ziggler is going to be the next Mr. WrestleMania. What do you think about that?
I see it as a potential. Because of the fact that I've seen the way that they've put together previous cards and the support that they've not provided to Ziggler, I just feel that Daniel Bryan might end up being the Intercontinental champion. I think he deserves it as well because he's earned every other belt. And again, it would at least appease people who liked Daniel Bryan and wanted him in the main event this year. At least it will appease them with that and hold them over.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan is an innovative wrestler. He is very talented. He is very good on the microphone, and one of the things I have to say about him is he comes out and we think he's going to retire, but he shocks us. He's basically like, nope, I'm not going to retire. I am staying in for the full game, and I think that one day instead of John Cena, it's going to be Daniel Bryan as the face of the company.
That's a good point. But we'll have to see. So let's go through this list here, and I will try to adjust it to what I think. I don't want to go off what Wikipedia is saying because it doesn't seem. I was explaining this to your listeners. It doesn't seem that the order that Wikipedia has provided is the actual order of the card. The way that they've put it together here, no person of right mind would ever book it in this way. So let's continue with the different matches here. So after the fact that we've talked about both the fatal four-way tag team match at the beginning of the show for the tag team championship, and we've also discussed the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy Battle Royal. Now we're going to discuss the Divas tag team match between AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bella Twins.
And we discussed this last night on your show, and one thing it truly bothers me is that they don't even give the Divas a title match, and they're just putting them in a meaningless, it seems like the Divas just get less respect every year because WrestleMania is the biggest card of the year, and you figure, out of all the events, they hardly bump up the Divas match at all. And it's because Vince McMahon thinks, oh, I don't have to bump up the Divas card match because it's just an average match. It shouldn't be. It should be electrifying. It should be on the edge of your seat. But no, Vince doesn't see that. He's very small-minded, and he rather not build up a card for the Divas match, and he just puts a tag team match, and that's it. And I'm like, come on, Vince, give us something different. Give us a title match for the Divas. Boost one of these Divas so they could become maybe the next future of the Divas industry. One of them could be like the next Beth Phoenix. And,
Yeah, it's disappointing that they're not putting the interest that they should on the Divas match, and we're probably going to see that match shortened in length, more than it should be, because of the fact that they always try to do this and limit the amount of time that the Divas are out there.
And my prediction, I'm guessing, I'm guessing possibly that, it's AJ. Wait a minute, is this a tag team, did you say, or is it just
It's a tag team match, non-title. It's a tag team match that's also non-title. There's no title on the line.
It's just simply ridiculous. It's a blow in the wind. It's just Vince McMahon trying to stick something into WrestleMania so it's long enough, and that's what McMahon does. He puts these lackluster events inside of what WrestleMania is, and then he shines up people like Brock Lesnar, shines up people like The Undertaker, and then a little bit he shines up John Cena, and then puts that as the centerfold for WrestleMania, and everybody's just like, okay, when's the John Cena match? Okay, when's the Brock Lesnar match? Everybody's just like waiting for that one match, and you just have people sitting there and getting up to go to use the restroom, and they're like, is John Cena come out yet? And they're like, no, he hasn't come out yet. There's a lot of fans out there that are just waiting for these specific matches, wouldn't you say?
To a certain extent. To a certain extent. I mean, others would just are hoping that their preferred wrestler actually finally cuts a break and are able to break out of that glass ceiling that Vince McMahon has installed over them.
And this whole thing about one thing about this is involving WrestleMania is the brass ring. Here's the thing: if you want your wrestlers to reach for this supposable brass ring, quit pulling it back, Vince. He ties it on like he puts it on a fishing rod. He rings it down to the center of the ring, and when the next wrestler tries to grab it, he pulls it back up. He makes it difficult, and I know it's hard work and initiative that you have to work to get where you can't just sit back and say, oh, I'm going to be the next John Cena. You have to actually fight every single night and try to fight for every title you can. Dominate every night, even if your storylines depends on it. You have to work as hard as you can to get from A to B. It's not going to be like if you sit on your ass all day and eat potato chips, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to end up with diabetes and a high cholesterol and die. And I could guarantee a lot of people are going to be making fun of me because of that comment, because I'm a little bit heavy. But, I don't care what you think. I don't care what people think about me as a person.
Yeah. So, the next match of the night after the Divas tag team match will probably be Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins.
Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. It's an interesting build. I would say that Randy's going to take the win. And why do I say Randy? I'm not a Randy supporter. But Randy has been out for a long time because of Seth Rollins. Because of that injury, Seth Rollins gave Randy Orton a concussion. And, you have to say that this is the guy. Of course, WWE, here's the thing, WWE pays their wrestlers on injury leave. And, I don't know if it's as much as when you're wrestling, but it must be a decent amount because Randy Orton's doing just fine. And honestly, I think these wrestlers do it because they love it. they love to entertain, and they know that they have enough money they can lay back on, and they don't have to wrestle ever again. Wouldn't you say that, Dave?
I can see to a certain extent, but I wouldn't necessarily say that that's across the board.
I know with certain superstars like Zack Ryder, he's not getting paid over 20,000 grand to show up each night. I don't know how much he gets paid, but because he's not getting pushed, he's in the back of the line. He's off somewhere else on Superstars, I think, or NXT or something like that, helping out the other people, and he's not even been seen. He's just like, I know you said Zack Ryder's going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, but that's the only time you'll ever see him come out, is because McMahon doesn't think he can put enough of his chips into a wrestler like Zack Ryder, which if he just gave Zack Ryder the chance, I think, and he had a better character, he could go far in the industry. But leave it to Vince McMahon to say, well, we have John Cena here, and we're going to say this. We're going to say, you're the golden boy. What's the next match should we put you in? That's the conversation, apparently. It happens at a WWE board meeting with the wrestlers for Monday Night Raw. But as for WrestleMania, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, it's going to be a bloody match, I would say. Randy's going to walk away with the win unless the Authority gets involved. I would say Rollins might win. It's very hard to say. It's because these two, I don't like Seth Rollins because he's full of himself, and in fact, the guy that I loathe, he actually made the Shield, CM Punk. He was the man that put the Shield together. I watched the interview with Cole Cabana, and with CM Punk and Cole Cabana, listening to CM Punk go he revealed that he was the one that started the Shield. That basically Vince McMahon took that idea and he ran off with it, and then he went up to, needless to say, he basically just, Vince McMahon took an idea from CM Punk and then he ran off with it. They were just going to stick, the Big Show and Kane together and make that the Shield. And really? What do you think of that, man?
I don't know if it could have worked out or not. I mean, the Shield sort of got their own support even as heels. They grew it organically, and which is probably why they had to break them apart. So I don't know. I can't really say one way or another.
Yeah. But what do you think? Honestly, what is your prediction for the Randy Orton and Seth Rollins match?
I'm gonna have to think that it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be Randy Orton. As much as I would prefer Seth Rollins to win, I just feel that they're gonna probably push Orton to win. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of tension, and there's gonna be folks. If you get the WWE Network for only $10. $10.99 as exactly, or $9.99. Jeez, just say it. $10.99. That's what it is. They're like, we're WWE. We think technical.
Well,
How professional.
They always do that sort of thing to make it sound cheaper.
Yes, and they're just like, okay, what's our next match?
It is Bad News Barrett versus R-Truth versus Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper versus Dolph Ziggler versus Stardust versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship title.
And as you said, I think Daniel Bryan is going to walk away with the Intercontinental Championship. If it isn't, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Huh?
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Because he everybody was mad because he got booted out at the Royal Rumble. At the first part of the match, he came in and they started fighting, and then they threw him out, and they're just like, "You got to be kidding me!" It was truly aggravating that they could do that to him, and this is my thoughts on McMahon basically wanting to push Seth Rollins and just glorifying, not Seth, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, they're trying to make him the poster boy right now. He's not the golden boy, he's the poster boy right now, and he's on the main poster. And Seth Rollins is, working his way up, and he's the cousin, his cousin is The Rock, and everybody knows who The Rock is. But, that, as I say, that everybody will watch these matches and root for the wrestlers, but they'll be mostly waiting for the main event match. And besides the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, the biggest match of the night would be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Everybody is putting their money. I can tell you, everybody, if you were a betting man, you would be putting all your money on Brock Lesnar. What do you think?
Absolutely. Brock Lesnar would be the one that clearly is the one that would win.
Here is a big prediction. Now, I'm hoping that this prediction is correct. Possibly a Superman punch to the face to Brock Lesnar, and a few more Superman punches jumping off the top rope hitting Brock Lesnar. I think a main weak focal point on Brock Lesnar is his legs, because of if you look at Brock Lesnar, he's a tank up top, but down below his legs are pitiful. It's
I wouldn't think that. He might concentrate a lot on upper body, but I wouldn't count his legs out. I'm sure that he's definitely got the strength necessary to break out of moves, that for example, like a sharpshooter or a fucking figure four or something. I do see him as being capable of doing that because of his wrestling skill.
But here's the thing: if you bet money on WWE, please don't do it, because the fact is that it's staged, so WWE knows who is going to win. But the fact is, just sit back and enjoy it for what it is. An entertaining event filled with controversy and all sorts of little tidbits that McMahon likes to pour on us and think what we want. Wouldn't you say, Dave?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But in regards to the next match that's coming up is, let's see here, Rusev versus Cena.
I've been thinking a lot about this match. It's a lackluster match. It's not that big, really, and everybody's gonna be wanting to see John Cena. But do you think John Cena could pull it out, and do you think he can end Rusev's reign? Do you think he can do it?
If anybody would do it, I would believe it would be Cena, because clearly nobody else has been given the opportunity to do so when they are more skilled. So again, this is all about, I guess, giving Cena yet another win. So I would think that yes, he'd probably end up being the winner.
Now, most definitely, I think that either it's a hard toss-up between Rusev and Cena, because if WWE is wanting to keep building Rusev's streak, I don't know. They haven't counted really how many people he has defeated, so I don't know if they're going to carry on with the idea to build his streak up to how many times he has not been defeated. So it's either a toss-up between Cena. So it's up in the air. You decide, folks. Who do you think's going to win? Rusev or John Cena? Are you going to be watching WrestleMania Play Button this Sunday? And also, at 7 o'clock tonight, the induction ceremony where some of the most legendary people will be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
My one and only favorite, my number one forever and for always, Randy Macho Man Savage. Rest in peace, brother. I love you.
Randy Savage was a man, if I could say a few words about him, Randy Savage was more than a professional wrestler. He was an entertainer. He was a man that went above and beyond to entertain the fans. He's not like Brock Lesnar. He was there for his fans. He showed up every single night to entertain his fans. He put on a show even though his body was aching. And he did every single night. And that is a big role model right there. I can tell you, he lived a good life. He had a good career. And even though his family is not in the Hall of Fame, and I just don't know why McMahon won't do it, but the thing is, rest in peace, Macho Man. Oh, yeah!
That's right, Tommy C. The Macho Man is the cream of the crop. Oh, yeah, and you can dig it.
Yes.
So, the next match I was going to go on. Sorry, go ahead, Tommy.
No, you go. You were saying something there. You were going.
I was just going to let you know what the next match was of the night that we haven't yet to talk about. We've sort of delved into what I kind of see already as the main events of the night, but we'll cover them in a moment. But the one that we haven't yet talked about is Sting versus Triple H.
Sting versus Triple H. Sting. He is a good competitor. He is an entertainer, and he is an innovator wrestler at his maximum. And then you have somebody like Triple H. Just a second. Yes. Sorry, I have to get myself set back up again. And then you have Triple H. Yes, I have the old school Triple H. What do you think of that?
That's cool, but I don't like Triple H, so.
I don't like him either. I have the action figure. I beat up on it every single time I can with another figure. I really think that there's no stipulations. They really going into this match, they should have created a stipulation for this match. If Sting beats Triple H, the Authority is gone. There's no stipulation, and I believe it's going to be a fun and entertaining match. My money is on Sting. What do you think?
If they're wise, they will make Sting win.
I think, and again, Triple H is the head of the Authority. Well, I mean, Stephanie is. She's in charge of the Authority. Triple H is merely a puppet. Because if you think about it, whenever Hunter is barking out orders, Stephanie steps right in front of Hunter and she'll say, "Excuse me? Who do you think you're talking to?"
Well, he's done the same thing too. So, either way, clearly she is the one that's in power just because, obviously her father has major control over the company. But, yeah, my prediction is, Sting is going to win over Triple H, and then we might have a continuing storyline.
Most definitely, yes. And I've heard a rumor that Sting is going to have a few more matches, and then he was going to be general manager of Monday Night Raw. That's what I heard. A rumor that was flying around a long time ago. What do you think of that?
It looks like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because Sting cools his feet off. He's the general manager. WrestleMania 32 comes around. We get our match. We get what we want. We get Undertaker versus Sting. That's what we've been waiting for this whole entire time, is the Undertaker versus Sting match. But my feelings is that Taker is going to be much older by that time, and it's not going to be such a big match because Taker is so worn out. And what do you think of that?
Yeah, I guess you have a you have a point. You have a point.
Yeah. And now that
sir, go ahead.
they have screwed up their only point to make this a good match in between Sting and Taker. And folks, the reason why I'm forcing this whole Sting and Taker thing is because these men represent two labels. This man right here, Sting, stayed with WCW until it tanked, until Vince McMahon bought it out. And then Sting left. He left. He was done. The ship sank, just like Goldberg. But a few more days later, Goldberg showed up to WWE, and then they fudged his career in WWE and took away his technical wrestling skills and made him into a buffoon. But that's other subjects. That's another subject. But the Sting and Triple H, it shows me how small-minded WWE is when they think about their wallets and not what their fans want. And WWE is the people. I think, isn't that their new little quote now? WWE is the people?
I don't know. I've never heard that one.
Oh, I heard their recent promo on saying what the WWE Nation is and everything. And if it's about the fans, then why are you not giving us what we want? Why is it WWE you think you know what we want? You don't know what we want. You just listen to a certain amount of people, and then you pump out the stuff you want to pump out. And WrestleMania 31 is a big example of certain things that go on in the WWE and certain wrestlers that just get cut loose because they're not up to par. It makes me so mad. And behind the fakeness, there's realness, folks. There's contracts involved, there's personal agendas involved, and there's people getting screwed over in their contracts, and there's people being let go from WWE, and they just had one showing on one TV time, and then they're gone. What do you think about that, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, again, WWE has done that in the past, so it's not something that we can put past them to happen in the future. But with that said, that basically we've got one last match before we wrap up here on Tommy Talks WWE WrestleMania 31 Prediction Show Live.
This is not Tommy Talks, by the way. Sorry. This is not Tommy Talks. This is just a live show.
I apologize.
No problem.
So, the last match is Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
And me and you have discussed this match, but going into detail, I think Lesnar is going to be going after Roman Reigns a lot. He's going to be giving a lot of F5s, a lot of German suplexes. They'll be going at each other's throats on Sunday, and I believe it's going to be hectic. And it's going to be where you're on the edge of your seat and you don't know who's going to win. A lot of people are putting their money on Brock Lesnar. A lot of people are saying Roman Reigns because he's an underdog and he's worked his way up. And the valid point. And the thing is, I don't like Roman Reigns that much. He can't work his way through a promo, and neither can Seth Rollins. Put your leg in between your leg and walk away.
Yeah.
Folks, that's a true statement from Seth Rollins. Is he tells John Cena he has two legs, and he tells him to take his third leg and put it between his legs and walk away. And I think the terminology is take your tail and put it between your legs and walk away.
Yep.
That's the terminology. But that's WWE writings. I'm guaranteeing, Seth Rollins
Okay.
looked at that script and said, tail's stupid. Maybe I'll just put leg in between there. But I'm getting off topic. Sorry. It's. What do you think about this match? What do you think about the determination of both competitors?
I think that it's going to be Brock Lesnar that ends up winning. I mean, it's the only logical thing that makes sense.
If he hadn't, here's the thing I would say: if he hadn't re-signed with the WWE, we would be seeing Roman Reigns with that title. And he said he wants another 2 years to hold on to this title. And all they're trying to do is mimic the CM Punk reign when he held the title. That's all they're doing, in my opinion here. They're trying to make, Brock Lesnar as big as what CM Punk was. And now he's gone, so they're trying to make more controversy by having him hold on to the title, having him be such a beast. And, it's right now, I don't think Vince McMahon has any more people he can call up on the phone and say, I need you to fight to make the ratings go back up in WWE. He's kind of running out of people, and so he has Brock Lesnar now, and let's see how far Vince McMahon can stab us in the heart. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Again, I don't necessarily agree with everything you do say, Tommy, but I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's all about us, isn't it? It's about the fans. It's about what we want. So it seems like all Vince McMahon is doing is popping open his wallet and looking at his money and says, what could make me more money? Is it what the fans want? Or is it what I need in my wallet and what decisions I make, basically? But I have to say, this is going to be an epic match. And my money is on both people.
No, you can't do that. You got to pick one.
I'm gonna regret.
personally want to see Brock Lesnar beat the snot out of Roman Reigns just like he did to John Cena and just F5 that guy into heaven.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna leave my decision up in the air. Is that okay to do that?
Oh, come on, man! Make a decision either way.
Okay. You're not gonna like me. Okay.
It doesn't matter whether it's just this is your prediction. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong with some of the predictions that I've made, but I'll just stick to them just because it's let's see whether I'm right or wrong. I mean, just make a guess and we'll see whether it happens.
Yes, Mom. Yeah, I already fed him. Yes. Sorry, man. I apologize about that.
So make your choice.
My choice is Roman Reigns.
All right, so we'll see, because that's also a possibility. I mean, you never know whether or not Undertaker might come out, do interference on Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns gets the win. So either way, because it's so up in the air, we're going to have to see tomorrow to see what happens. Either way, it should be enjoyable to see what occurs.
Yes. Well, folks, I want to say thank you for joining us for this live broadcast. And this is the the devious one, Dave Rose, and you could see him at youtube.com/deviousdaverose, and you could see him on the Dark Show. When does your show air, my friend?
Every Friday nights from 9 p.m. until whenever we decide.
Until Dave falls over from being drunk.
Sometimes we go into Graham Hull's show called The Drunk Show.
Yes, and you check him out too. He's going to be one of my next guests on Tommy Talks at one point. But as always, folks, I'm going to take a bow. And as always, I'm Tommy NC 2010. And I'm keeping you on the inside. Fact. And if you want to give your catchphrase off, you can, Dave.
As always, stay devious.
And I'm keeping you on the inside. Fact. We'll catch you later, folks. Enjoy WrestleMania. Enjoy this WrestleMania week. I will promise you that there will be a Tommy Talks in the next Sunday. I will get a guest together, and there will be a Tommy Talks. This is for the absence for Tommy Talks. I'll catch you later, folks.